known as the first great woman in history of whom we have some information. Hatshepsut reigned as Pharaoh of Egypt during the 15th century BC. While she isn't the first name that comes to people's minds when they think of Egyptian rulers, Hatshepsut's legacy is impossible to ignore, and she was extremely important in Egyptian history. So here are 10 less-known facts about this great pharaoh. Reflecting the fact that Hatshepsut took on a position which was traditionally male, most of the statues or artistic depictions of this female monarch usually depict her as being in drag. She wears a false beard and is even given a more masculine frame. Historians suspect that she may likely have worn traditionally male garb when she was ruling as a pharaoh. Queen Hatshepsut belonged to the 18th dynasty of pharaohs. Though you may not have heard of it, it's kind of a big deal. It represented the absolute height of Egypt's powers as a kingdom and brought about enormous cultural change to the country. This glorious dynasty lasted centuries, and contained some of the most important names in all of history, like Hatshepsut herself and the famous King Tut. Speaking of the 18th dynasty, it was the second longest-lived dynasty of pharaohs behind the Ptolemaic dynasty. Not only that, it is renowned in Egypt for having not just one, but two different pharaohs who were women. One was Hatshepsut, and the other was a woman best known today as Nefertiti. Check out my video about her. Overall, Hatshepsut's reign was said to be far more peaceful than other pharaohs' time on the throne of Egypt. However, artwork in one of Hatshepsut's temples does indicate to an early military campaign into her reign as pharaoh. If this war did occur, it was reportedly fought between Egypt and Nubia, and it resulted in a decisive victory for Egypt. Although she began her rule as the regent for her nephew and stepson, and took the role of pharaoh for herself, Hatshepsut never once took an effort to kill or disinherit Thutmose III. In fact, he held command of all her armies during her reign as pharaoh. But that may have all changed after Hatshepsut died. Hatshepsut's reign has been determined to have lasted more than 20 years. That makes her the longest-reigning female ruler in the entire history of ancient Egypt. Given the incredible longevity of said history, that's no small feat. One of the most significant aspects of Hatshepsut's reign was an emphasis on reconstruction and ambitious new building projects. Many of these building projects took place in the Egyptian city of Thebes. One theory why Hatshepsut faced no opposition to her assumption of her own royal title was her experience within the rule of Egypt. During the reign of Thutmose II, Hatshepsut was very active within the administration of Egypt. Given this familiarity and experience with ruling, Hatshepsut's ascension to the title of monarch must have made sense to her subjects. For her part, Hatshepsut was quick to use the religion of ancient Egypt in her favor to become pharaoh. She allegedly claimed that her own father had named her his heir. Moreover, it was reportedly declared by the oracle of Ammon, who was one of the primary gods in ancient Egyptian theology. It's hard to argue with a god, after all. We need to point out that Hatshepsut was not, in fact, the first female pharaoh of Egypt. There are at least two other female monarchs before Hatshepsut. One of these was the final ruler of the 12th dynasty, a woman named Sobekneferu. What do you think? Who was the greatest woman in ancient Egypt? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to FunFacts History channel and ring the bell to be notified for more informative videos. Thank you for watching.